Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and you can learn more about me and all of the lovely things that we make on this channel on my blog at www.stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. I also include a lot of information and links in the description box below here on my YouTube channel. So if you want to join my email list or follow me on social media, if you're interested in shopping with me, all of that information is in the description box below. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to be doing today. Today, we are going to be talking about tips. I am going to be making some cards, but we're also going to be talking about tips to get the creative juices flowing whenever you place a new craft order. So the thing that brought this about was the launch of the brand new 2022-2023 annual catalog from Stampin' Up. This is a great time of year for customers and demonstrators because we get so excited when there's a new big catalog to go through. And we get so excited and we place these large orders. And even if your order isn't large, even if you just get a few things, sometimes once we get that package in the mail, we can get a little stuck. Or maybe we think, you know what, I'll watch a couple of videos and maybe I'll work with that later. So I have some tips for you today as to how you can get the creative juices flowing. This is a process that I do. So of course, these are just my suggestions and opinions, but you of course can customize this to whatever works best for your schedule and your crafting lifestyle. So the first tip that I have is if you order any new designer series paper or any specialty paper, that you get that paper out and that you make a sampler. Okay, and you can choose, what type of sampler you would like to make. If you're cutting up, pieces so that you can put together a card or a scrapbook page or whatever would work for your crafting needs, I think that that's fine. As demonstrators, I was taught that we can create these samplers to give you a snapshot as to all of the different patterns and coordinating styles that you can use within a designer series paper pack. But what a sampler really did for me was it really helped me get to know that new product. And I know that might sound silly, but that's exactly what it did. So when you create a layout, because of course, all of this designer series paper is double-sided, and when you get to cut those squares and you get to see both sides right next to each other, and then you line all of the patterns up right next to each other, you really do have this like a cheat sheet, like a chart that can show you how many different ways you can use this paper. One of the things that I was struck by right away is that I could actually do some patriotic themed cards with this. I could do a lot of summer cards with this. And that might not be something that you think about when you're looking at the Tea Boutique designer series paper. So, don't be afraid to roll up your sleeves, get into that designer series paper, and start cutting. If you want to start cutting, I know that a lot of people do templates. You make card templates or you cut pieces out in advance. So if that's something that you would like to do, then I think that would work too. The important thing is that you get your hands on that paper, that you open it up, and that you start working with it right away. And it doesn't have to be a card right away unless that's something that you want to do, but it really helps you to understand what you just purchased and the best way to work with it. So here, I'm going to jump into another tip. The tip that I have here is if you do not use magnetic sheets to store your dies, I do not do that yet. If you do, fantastic. But if you use the original packaging that your dies came with, like I do, if you put the sheet face down when you first get it and run it through your machine, it will emboss the patterns of the dies so that you can return those to the sticky sheet that it came with whenever you're done with it. Now, my second tip here is cut out every die. And I bet you're going to figure out pretty quickly what I'm doing here. So you're going to cut out every die And the reason for this is sometimes when you get it, you might not realize how many dies you get. You might not realize exactly what they do. You might start to get ideas as you're cutting the pieces. Some pieces cut in, some pieces cut out. Some pieces are very detailed, like you see here with this cup. And you can see it can layer over the die, or it can layer over a stamped cup here. But when I started working with this, you can see how messy it was with the glue because that's a detailed die, right? So my immediate thought was I'm going to use adhesive sheets with these more detailed or smaller pieces. This set actually has a lot of smaller dies. So I use my multi-purpose glue for, creating my little chart here, my little die chart. And this again is a reference sheet so that I know what all the dies are in this set, so that I know what to work with, so I know what coordinates with the stamps. And this is another get to know you task. But I promise you, when you get these new products out and you start to die cut them and you start to go through your paper pack and you start to see how they come out, you're going to start to get ideas for cards, which I'll show you the cards that I ended up creating going through this process. Now, when I did this, I was actually preparing for my Facebook Live, the very first video that I made with the Tea Boutique set. And this is how I prep for that. This is how I get ready. And I had recently done this with a paper pumpkin, where I kind of took you behind the scenes and showed you what my process was whenever I design alternate cards. And this is the exact same thing, except this is annual catalog product. So the Tea Boutique Suite, which is on low inventory, by the way, as of the date I am doing the voiceover for this, which is May 8th. It's the same process with different product. So I like to tell people, and here you can see one of my tips is return the dies to the sheet when you're done. I can't tell you how important that is. And I know that life gets busy and sometimes we leave messy craft tables. Of course it happens. But if you can help it, especially your first time cutting the pieces out, even if you're not actually making a card or a scrapbook page, but you're just trying to get to know your product or you're creating your charts, just make sure you clean up as much as you can so that it's easier to create with it later. Now here, going into my ink pads, and then I'll get back to my point in just a minute about Paper Pumpkin. I noticed that this time around with the stickers, there are two blank stickers. So there's a narrower one that goes right in here. And then there's like a standard size one that I decided to put on the back of my stamps. Now, I didn't do any research on this. I don't know if that's why they put the extra in there or not, but that's what I chose to do with it. So that this way I can actually have at a glance, see the color of the stamp from both sides, like the ink pad from both sides. My son Connor loves to peel off the stickers, so I actually felt a little bit guilty doing this without him. But I just wanted to show this for the sake of what I do when I get a new catalog haul, right? So this is my brand new product. It was the very first time I was working with it. And I didn't even get a chance to put the stickers on prior to my live. So I really like to make that a priority because as soon as you can get those, once you can get those stickers put on there, for me, it's kind of like an ownership thing. Like now they're mine. Now those stamps are mine and I'm ready to go. And if they go into their little, area where I keep all of my ink pads, I can reference and grab them quickly because I took the time to put my stickers on. So I just think that that's really important. Now, my next tip here is stamp every stamp. And again, I know I'm stamping everything in the same color. This is one of our new colors, one of our new ink colors called Tahitian Tide. Is it beautiful or is it beautiful? Oh my gosh. This set was made for summer, I'm telling you. And I know it's going to be beautiful for winter too, especially for those of you who love to do blue winter cards. Oh my gosh. But the new colors are gorgeous. So every year, Stampin' Up, when they release their new annual catalog, they come out with a set of 5 in colors. It's an in color collection for 2 years. These are the 2022 to 2024 Stampin' Up! In colors. So I like to try to work with them as soon as I possibly can so that I can get to know the colors, so that I can get to know my new products and all of that. So whenever you get a new package in the mail, you know, it's best to really kind of dive into it instead of letting it sit. And if you're going on vacation and you're busy or you have stuff happening in your life, of course, you know, you do what the priorities are. But when you get a chance, you know, take the time to dive into the products that you purchased. Okay, so tip number 6 is put your stamps back. And recently, Stampin' Up! Started printing all of the stamp images on the back of the stamp inserts. So now we can put them right inside the stamp, you know, our stamp holder, the container, and we have a little chart as to where we can lay our stamps when we put them back, which is so nice. So now I'm going to start getting into the card backgrounds that I made. So let me just give a heads up real quick that you're going to see me stamping all 3 backgrounds, but I'm only going to be making one of the 3 cards on camera. I will show all 3. I will have pictures of all 3 finished cards at the end, so stay tuned for that. But you can see how beautifully Parakeet Party is turning into a slice of lime. I mean, shout out there. So this is exactly the process, the creative process that can start to happen when you stamp your stamps. You know, from one thought to the next, I started looking at that paper. I started looking at the dies. I started looking at the stamps. And my first takeaway was summer. I just thought about citrus and drinks and health and fruit. And I just thought I have to make these citrus themed cards. When I saw what the sentiments were, and it was all about caring, take care of yourself, let's get together soon, talking about friendship. It's time for tea, which is one of the things that we do with our friends. We drink coffee, we drink tea, we hang out, we ask how, you know, each other is doing. If somebody's not feeling well, and you send them a little care package, right? And it just felt right to work with this theme of cards. And again, I kept the cards simple. We're stamping the backgrounds. And just real quick, I used Pumpkin Pie for the orange. I used Daffodil Delight for the lemons. And I used Parakeet Party for the limes. With the lemons and the limes, I did the half slice. And then with the oranges, I thought I was going to try my hand at trying to make an entire orange slice, like a whole orange slice. And I don't quite think I pulled it off. If I was a little bit more patient with myself, I think I could have gotten these lineups a little bit better, but it's all in good fun. It's all in experimentation. This is going to be a background, right? So we're going to be popping a little pocket with a little pack of vitamin C in it onto the front of the card too. So this isn't going to be the only thing they're looking at, but I'm just saying it's okay not to be perfect. And if you are the type of person who is a perfectionist, I'm sure that you could nail this much better than I could. If that drives you crazy, you could go back to the half slice. So the point that I wanted to make about Paper Pumpkin is that Paper Pumpkin, they design and they put together everything for you. They make it as easy as they possibly can, right? And I see Sweets as the grown-up version or the bigger full-size product version of a Paper Pumpkin box. The Sweet does exactly what the Paper Pumpkin box does. All of that product has been designed to coordinate and be done for you. We have Tea Boutique card bases, which are already done for us. We have the coordinating designer series paper. We have these fabulous new in colors. We have the, you know, this bundle that perfectly coordinates together. So all of that has been pre-thought out and designed for us. And all we have to do is just start kind of throwing the pieces together, right? You really can't mess up these cards. I promise you can't. So whatever your design process and whatever ideas start flowing when you start working with the products, I promise, you know, when you open up that box and you start diving into your products, this is how you get that mojo back if you feel like maybe you're not in the most crafty mood, right? Or maybe if you are a new demonstrator, maybe you purchased the starter kit and you're thinking, well, how can I get started? You know, how can I dive into this big box of goodies that I got? Because basically you're getting an almost $200 value for $99 with the May starter kit special. That's a lot of product, right? And it's fabulous. It's a fabulous savings and a deal. But maybe you get that box and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with it? This is what you can do with it. Just follow the tips and the steps, and you're going to end up with some really fun, cute cards, right? Whatever bundle, whatever suite, whatever stamp set you choose, you could do some great things with it. I mean, this is a wonderful catalog, fabulous new products to work with. So here, I got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out because the Tea Boutique dies go with the mini. All of the sizing of the dies will fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which is really nice. So I'm just cutting out a bunch of different cuts. I am just cutting out a bunch of different teacups. I decided to cut out some vellum cups. I decided to cut out the cardstock cups and just kind of, you know, match them up and get a layout that I really liked. So, you know, whenever you're working with your dies, the concept that I was going for was to make it look like there was liquid in the cup. So here you see me actually sticking the vellum straight to the ink pad to kind of get that look. Ink on vellum does not dry so quickly. So you either need to layer it or you need to heat set it. But you want to be careful with that because that could potentially be messy. And I am the type of crafter who is messy. I also like to experiment with layouts, and I tried different things with all 3 different cards, but it was basically the same concept for each card with very slight variations. So the card was a citrus theme, very similar sizing for each card. And I did a little pouch on the front to hold either a tea bag or a pack of citrus, like an emergency pack or something like a vitamin C pack. And you could choose whatever you want. You might want to use instant coffee, or you might want to do cough drops, or if you're going to use Kleenex or something thicker, you're probably going to need a thicker pouch. I did a very thin pouch because, of course, tea bags are very flat, right? They're flat. So you can figure out what works for you, but you'll see the finished card coming up here in a minute. Now here you see me working with the die cut citrus slice, and again, messy with the multi-purpose glue. So again, I recommend the adhesive sheets. Adhesive sheets will turn your dies into stickers. And I learned my lesson quickly with that. So with the parakeet party or the lime slice, I learned my lesson. I grabbed my adhesive sheet. You can, you get really big sheets so you can cut them down to whatever size you want. So if you're using scraps, cut it down to a scrap size. You just peel the backing off, put it on the back of the cardstock. Then you lay your dies down on top of it, die cut it, and you basically turn your die into a sticker. I love them so much. So much easier, you guys. Okay. So as we're kind of getting to the end of this video here, I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about that starter kit if you don't already know about it. If you've watched my channel, you've probably heard of it. But if not, let me talk a little bit about it now. The first thing I want to say is I have a link in the description below to my blog or to the actual starter kit link if you're ready to put your kit together. In the month of May, from May 3rd to the 31st, Stampin' Up! Is offering a special promotion where, in addition to the starter kit value, which is $125 worth of product for $99, you actually get 4 additional full-size products for free. And they're all brand new in color products. So just to give you an idea of this, because you customize what you get in your kit, the $125 worth of product, whatever you want, you could put 2 bundles in there. You could put designer series paper and embellishment in there. You could switch it out and do a suite. You could put a couple of tools in there, and either do a craft room refresh or start building on your craft room. Start putting your color collections together, do your new wish list product haul. And then in addition to whatever product you have chosen for your starter kit, you get all 5 brand new in color ink pads. You get the assorted in color cardstock that coordinates. You get the designer series paper that coordinates. So this is all the 2022-2024 in color collection. And you also get the coordinating new grid paper pack. So grid paper, if you've never used it, helps to protect your surface, but it's in the gorgeous new in colors. So it is also part of that 2022 to 2024 in color collection. That's another $66.50 in product value. You also get a paper pumpkin kit in your starter kit, which is another $23.50 value on top of all of the value that you got. So with a typical starter kit, you save $26 and get free shipping. With this starter kit, it's like $192 or something like that worth of product for $99 and free shipping. And that ends at the end of this month. One of the first things that people buy with a new catalog is in-color product. So the fact that you're getting those core items, all 5 ink pads, the cardstock, the coordinating in-color designer series paper, and the grid paper, that I can't get over it. It's such a huge value. So I highly recommend the kit. I can say to you as a mom on Mother's Day, I know that we feel a lot of guilt around doing things for ourselves sometimes. And believe me, I understand it. I get it. But it is okay to treat yourself. And whether that is by purchasing a starter kit or getting yourself a massage or going for a long walk or renting a movie or indulging in your favorite cookie or going to buy a coffee, you are entitled to treat yourself. And I hope that you do this Mother's Day. My mom is having some health issues and she's at home recuperating. I won't get into it more than that, but I can't be there to hug her and love on her, even though we talk many times a day. But so grateful for my mom. So grateful for Connor. He is just my favorite human on this earth. Being a mom is my favorite job. But so many times with card makers and crafters and stampers, our heart is always in the caring place, right? We're sending cards, letting people know that we're thinking about them. We love them. We wish them well. We appreciate their friendships. We want them to get better. We want them to have happy birthdays, right? All of those wonderful things. Have a great holiday. Like that's what we do as card makers. So that's what this card theme is all about. And you can see my finished card right over there. I'm just finishing up with the tea bag tag. This parakeet party is such a fun color to work with. I can't wait to work with all 5. But you can see there's just that really simple pouch on the front of the card holding our tea bag. We have our super cute teacup. We have our lime slice. I'm just about to use the in-color twine as the little tea bag tag string. I'm adding a little hint of color there to make it look like there's liquid in that cup, layering it with the vellum, just real simple, very simple design. You see my little tear and tape adhesive going wrong here because I was trying to put it on while the ink was still wet. Don't do that, you guys. Be patient. Just wait a minute, let it dry and then go ahead and put your adhesive on. But this was such a fun card series to make. So here I will put all 3 cards, all 3 finished cards up on the screen for you to see. I really hope that you enjoyed this process of what you do with your new products. Let me know in the comments if you have any particular things that you like to do, any like organization process or ritual that you do when you get your new products in the mail. Do you start crafting with them right away? Do you make samplers? I know the quilters out there will appreciate those squares, and you could do that as your card layout designs or your scrapbook designs as well, right? So leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys again in the next video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I do crafting tutorials each week. I do alternate paper pumpkin videos each month. Be sure to click the subscribe button. I have so many people who come by and they're so sweet to like and to watch, but not many people subscribe. So click that subscribe button. That tells YouTube that you like these videos. It tells me that you like these videos and that you'd like to see more like this. And have an absolutely wonderful, happy, safe Mother's Day. You're all doing such a great job, and you are more appreciated than you will ever know. Bye-bye.